Welcome to Rise Above, where Arda Ozanmir, Jane Reeder, and Stephanie Ivanek help you master your energy, master your life. Live from Palo Alto, California, it's time to get mindful and rise above. Hi, and welcome to Rise Above. My name is Stephanie Ivanek, and I'm here with
Arda Ozanmir
and Jane Reeder.
Awesome. We are so excited to be kicking off our first podcast and to be kicking off 2019 together, talking about resolutions, something that we know some of us are very successful at, but most of us miss the mark. So today we're really going to hone in on what are some tips and tricks that we can use to get us through 2019.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking for sharing our ideas. Actually, it's an obviously hot topic. We're just leaving 2018, and we have some hopes and desires to accomplish in 2019.
Yes, we do. So, out of curiosity, what do you guys think is the percentage of people that successfully can stick with their resolution each year?
I will guess like 20%, maybe 1 out of 5 people stick with their resolutions. Because we always hear about these gym memberships, right? I think they make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly in December and January, the rates go way up.
Okay, so I don't know 1 in 5 because I just can't wrap my head around that. But I did read that 80% of those individuals who set resolutions fail at their resolution. And in fact, that 80% all drop off more or less around the second week of February. So I thought that was shocking. I had a little bit more hope for mankind that we were sticking to our resolutions. I was kind of hoping for 60%.
Or a little beyond February, like, hey guys, can you go to the gym a little longer?
Like March, April at least, right?
Yeah.
Like half a year at least, yeah. So it's just mind-boggling because then I look at my own self and I think, I don't even get that far, you know? Don't eat sweets, yeah, that lasts 2 weeks. Go to the gym 5 days a week, yeah, that lasts maybe all of January. I mean, I'm so curious to hear what your guys' experience has been with setting resolutions.
First of all, actually, are we part of that 80%? So, as a group, hopefully we are just kind of, creeping into the 20% who can actually stick with their resolutions. But the thing is, to me, when I'm putting some resolutions, I don't wait till the end of the year. So, I think in some way I kind of see what I'm happy with in my life and what I like to bring into my life. So sometimes, I think we're going to explore that a little bit longer, what makes a resolution a successful resolution. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. But a year is ending, so I look back and see what's going on and what I like to bring into my life in 2019 is this thought process I go through.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that it's more of lifestyle preferences and habits. So maybe you don't actually look at it as a resolution.
Yeah, that's actually a great perspective. Exactly. Resolution is sometimes a little bit too final. Maybe that's why people are a little afraid of, I have to stick with my resolution versus, hey, this is kind of what I'm feeling right now. I'm not sure. I was looking at, when you were saying that, I was looking at the why. Like, why 80% is, I think, 4 out of 5. So, I kind of like 1 out of 5 people succeed on their resolution. Why the rest of, 80%?
Well, it makes me think that sometimes they're not our real resolutions.
Yeah.
Like we think it's the person that we should be or the things we should be doing and not what you're saying, which is, I think, really reflecting on what's true for you and what you would really like instead of what you think you should like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, to build off of that, just in thinking of my own resolutions, like going to the gym 5 days a week, Honestly, I set myself up for failure from the get-go because the likelihood of me going to the gym 5 days a week with my work schedule, travel schedule, and everything else is really not realistic. I feel like it's about, in that situation, telling myself, I know I'm going to be traveling, so let me just try to go to the gym twice while I'm abroad this week, which is more reasonable than 5 days a week. Because the second that I don't hit 5 days, I kind of feel like a failure, and that doesn't feel good. And then I start beating myself up a little bit instead of honing in on the positive. So for me, I think it's about switching the mindset a bit.
You're bringing up a great point, and I think we can deep dive here a little more. Like you said, 5 times a week, I'm going to go to the gym. Could be a resolution. If you're lucky, I think you can make it all the way. If you're lucky, you can find yourself mid-February still going to the gym 5 times a week, because there is a little bit of becomes the goal. What's the intention behind it? What is it that as you said about that lifestyle? What is my lifestyle? Okay, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to go to gym, but when do you want to go to gym, or what it means to you to exercise? Maybe you don't like the building to be on the fluorescent lights, and you want to go for a walk around the block. So it's just a matter of a little bit more expansion of your feelings and senses and your vision of life
and the options that you have to meet whatever the real goal is, right?
Yes. What is the real goal? What is your intention? What is your intention of bringing into your life?
Is it to feel happier, healthier, more expansive, more fit, right?
Exactly. Something you said, Stephanie, was interesting too. Like you said, I start feeling bad about myself. So some people say, I'm hoping we're going to discuss like how many resolutions and what's the top 5. But the thing is, like if somebody says like I'm going to eat healthy and I want chocolate mousse, and I'm craving for it, which is my the number one. I don't miss when it's on the menu. I don't miss chocolate mousse.
Noted.
So it just, when I don't allow myself to eat that on that night after a beautiful meal, then I kind of like feel that I'm living in that lack world, right? So I'm not really treating myself. I'm not nurturing myself, and that brings me down. And that energy, to me, is more distractive. So it's just like the regimen of I'm gonna eat healthy. Sometimes, mid-February, I'm already sick and tired of myself that bashes myself eating and indulging a few times, and it's just not working.
Yeah, and I also like what you're saying about like you stop because you are beating yourself up, right? Instead of it being okay that you made a decision and you actually enjoyed yourself, and then you can begin again. But we don't usually begin again, right? It's more like, I messed up, I failed, and let me just forget about this failure and this mess up by not going back there again.
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is the perfect segue to talking about our personal New Year's resolutions for this coming year and how we go about setting our resolutions or our goals or whatever we want to be or whatever we want to refer to it as. Because for me, I actually set them on my birthday every year. And it's really interesting because I think that 2 years ago, I didn't execute my goals or resolutions very well. So last year, I decided I'm not going to set any goals or resolutions on this birthday, and I'm just going to see what happens this year in my life. Like, what does it feel like to not be bound by any goals or resolutions? Like, how does that impact my fulfillment or lack thereof? And what I discovered is the year flew by, but I didn't have like anchors. So for me, the way that my resolutions show up is really as anchors, and it is kind of a check-in for me, because I know that what I write down makes me feel complete and fulfilled, and are things that if I were to achieve them, it would make me feel really good. Like some of them are self-care things. Some of them are career goals. And so not having that marker, it was just, in a sense, it was freeing, but it also allowed things to just pass by, almost like I wasn't as present. So this year I did make a set of New Year's resolutions, and I'm happy to share some of them, but I'd love to just hear from both of you how you guys go about setting your resolutions.
Yeah, I was thinking about this since I knew we were going to do this podcast, and the years that I was most successful, I found this book that I have bought several different copies of it, because it's like a workbook that you write in, and it's called something like the Miracle Manifestation Manual. And it's all about like writing down like your perfect day, what it consists of, and what makes you happy, and all of these things, so that you can go through and kind of get to the root. And I have like several of these books that are all filled out from years that I did that, and I thought that's really what I want to do, is spend time over the holidays and write those things out and get to a place where I feel like I'm really happy with what I'm doing, and that it's, for me.
And what was the name of that book again?
Something like the Miracle Manifestation Manual.
Okay, we'll figure out what it is, and we'll put a link in the notes on the podcast in case any of you guys wanna pick that up. Yeah. Check it out. Sounds like a good one. I think I'm gonna purchase it too. I love that reflection stuff.
Cool. For me, as I mentioned in the beginning, kind of the resolution becomes a little tricky, so I actually bring it to the day, almost in the moment. So I kind of say, for example, notice that I'm not happy with certain attributes. So let's say I'm too much in my head, and I want to be more in my body, or I want to live from my heart, or I want to be a little more spontaneous. So when I kind of get into that space and a feeling, I start to kind of take my actions from there. Like what we are discussing, it's just almost like implementing resolutions, intentions, goals on a daily basis. So it's like a carrot in front of me, right? So I'm chasing the carrot all the time. So I will say like, hey, okay, you know what? I'm going to be spontaneous. And then when I'm not spontaneous, I feel it. Or when I'm spontaneous, then I feel differently. So I kind of like start chasing that as my carrot. Make sense?
So instead of setting one annual goal, you set every morning, you check in with yourself.
I check in with myself every morning, or every week, or every month, whatever is going on. But yearly, it could be, for example, I can say, hey, I'm gonna choose joy. 2019, that's for sure for me. So second one would be, I'm going to spend more time with myself. Third one will be, I will do things that will nurture me. So it's as you can see, it's a little general. So that's kind of what I'm getting at with that. So it's more general, instead of like somebody will say, like, self-nurturing, what is that? Like something, to me, like going to nature will be self-nurturing. For somebody else, self-nurturing will be, I don't know, like eating a chocolate cake will be self-nurturing.
Getting a massage.
Getting a massage. So it's kind of more theme-oriented rather than a specific goal. Like, I think what you said in the beginning, like 5 times a week I'm going to go to the gym, it puts so much restraint on the psyche. 5 times. Like, you will be counting, okay, this is the first time. Oh, now it's the second. Okay, 3 days left. I need to have 2 more visits to the gym. It's just too much mental activity is going on. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we can't get over the mid-February.
I'm literally here thinking, should I open up my journal and read what I wrote? Maybe I need to pivot, which is completely okay.
Okay. Yeah,
but what you're saying is true, because I'm in the middle of a 30-day yoga challenge right now, I skipped 2 days just because my body needed it. But it's like every day I'm like, oh, this is day 15. This is day 17. And it's like mentally taxing instead of just being like, oh, let's just do yoga today and not have that number attached to it. It is suffocating in a certain way.
Absolutely.
So weight on my shoulders.
Energetically, it literally suffocates you, because in the mind, the more you are in the mind, the energy doesn't flow into the body. So the body wants to rest. Like I love what you said, like 30-day challenge, 15th day, or you already missed 2 days, right? So your mind is like, no, Stephanie, this is not going well, right? Your body says, yeah, why didn't you take another day? Because we were tired, remember? Instead of yoga, we should have had our mint tea and then, have a little feel-good movie. Like, it's that connection, right, between the mind and the body. I think that's kind of what makes these resolutions a little tricky.
I agree. I'm just thinking about the year that I tried to get around the gym thing by buying a treadmill, put it in my house, and then said 5 days a week, every day when you get up, Monday through Friday, the first thing you're doing is getting on the treadmill and running for 20 minutes. And I did that for a long time, until the thing broke. And then I never wanted to do it again, after that. Because I thought, it's the gym thing that bothers me. I have to get up, I have to go to the gym, I have to change again, this, that, the other thing. At home, nobody cares what I look like. I can just get on and run, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
exactly.
As soon as that thing broke, I did not try to get it fixed.
You had enough. I'm done with this.
I'm done with this stupid treadmill.
This torture. Yes, exactly. I mean, that relationship between life and yourself is so interesting, right? We have a relationship with life. That's kind of what I see with these resolutions. It kind of comes up. But it's just like, how do I feel? But when we think about it, it's really, we are, putting our bodies through some torture.
Yeah, and trying to trick ourselves
into,
or in my case, how can I trick myself into actually following through with this resolution that I've not been successful with in the past, right?
So I think that brings us to, how do we create a resolution that we can stick with throughout the year?
Well, that's that's a very natural segue to what we were discussing and kind of like honing on. To me, it's just like mental, emotional, and physical connection, the alignment. When they align, because my mind might say, oh, wait a second, actually that was a couple of days ago, we had an interesting discussion. Somebody said, hey, you know what, because my friends told me I need to do this, I should be doing that. So that, where is that? Where does that thought take place? It's in the mind, obviously, right? In the mind, I'm thinking this is the right way. My heart says, no, that's not the right way. I think we should go out more. We should, smell the air more. And the body says, hey, wait a second. Can someone listen to me? Because I am still not ready to go to the gym. So why don't we just take a little walk in the park? Right? So that kind of misalignment is very important to notice, and then come up with some kind of thing that your body is craving for, and listening to the body a little bit more, and maybe listening to the heart a little bit more. Like I was saying, like, hey, I want to be joyful because my heart is crying for joy, right? And then I go to my mind and say, what is joy to you? Right? My heart says I'm craving for joy. I go to my mind and it says, what is joy? Oh, going to an SF, a jazz concert, SF Jazz on a Saturday night. My body says, I'm up for it. So now it's in my calendar. Then I can decide, okay, once a month or every other month, or how about this? Whenever I'm in the city, I'll stop by. I got a couple of free tickets because, I was late 15 minutes to a concert because my body wanted to see a show. My mind said, yes, let's go. My heart was just so excited. I found myself at the SF Jazz and 15 minutes after the show started, and they said, okay, yeah, go in. Here's the ticket for free. So it's just, that's kind of, to me, resolution is that kind of, do you feel you're in your entirety, with your mind, with your heart, and with your body, connect with that feeling of doing that?
For those people that don't have strong mind-body connection or emotion-heart connection, where would you recommend they start with this process? Because what if you don't know what joy feels like, and when you sit down at your desk and you're like, all right, I'm going to try to do my resolutions right, what gives me joy? And then you
write it down.
But what if nothing comes to your mind?
So let me just answer one thing, and then Jane, please. So can you visualize, for example, you said 5, you write it down 5 times a week, I'm going to go to the gym. Can you visualize that? And then just say, for example, I'm going to wake up in the morning and go to the gym 5 times a week. Visualize that now.
Yeah, I'm visualizing it.
I'm
visualizing me pressing snooze. I'm visualizing me giving excuses.
Yes.
Unpleasantness was
Okay.
the first thing I
Okay.
thought. Yeah.
That's fair. So really it's about thinking of those things where you felt happiest, or like that felt right, if you want to call it that.
Exactly. So.
And like being aware of just acknowledging what comes with each of those actions or ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking about being willing to experiment. So anybody who, maybe you have kids, and for a long time you're just taking care of your kids, and you get to a point where you have a little free time and you're thinking like, I don't even know what I would do with this free time now, and really not getting it. Well, being willing to, let's try a couple of things, like something that you did a long time ago, you might try it and you go, well, that's not really my thing anymore. But you're willing to experiment and invest in yourself to say, okay, I'm going to go along with this, and I'm kind of going to do like a Gandhi thing and make this into a life experiment, right? And just see, oh, this was awesome, or this part of it was awesome, I want more of that, right?
That's so beautiful. Experiment. I mean, I think we take life too seriously. Like when we were talking in the beginning, it's just like, oh, it's all success or failure. And there's a stat, right? Mid-February, 4 out of 5 people fallen already. Those losers, right? It's just like we are all looking at beginnings and ends. I think like experimenting life is some kind of maybe new agey concept for many of us, but it is really the real thing, because experimenting life is to be forgiving as well as accepting, right? You accept whatever is coming. And yeah, I felt, by mid-February I couldn't go to the gym 5 times. Okay, maybe I need to adjust.
Yeah, but maybe you went for a yoga retreat, or maybe you went on a great hike. And maybe that's just fine, right?
Or I realized that I'm not a morning person. I need to change it. Maybe it's better for me to go there after work, or maybe lunchtime, or not go at all. Like it's beautiful to read all these experiments with life.
Yeah, and to be like kind with yourself, right? If you're going along with something, instead of saying I'm a loser about not meeting this goal, I'm just really saying, okay, that was something that didn't work, and that's okay, right? You just, as we would say, welcome it. Whatever it is, just welcome it and not be judging it so much, right? And then it's easier to keep trying, the next thing, I think.
So far we have step 1 is to really have a conversation with yourself and understand what brings you joy and what brings you those feel-good feelings. And then we also have the idea of experimentation, blanketed over the self investigation that's going on. So once you've, established what your joy moments or happy moments are, or maybe lack thereof, how do you go from that to setting a resolution? Like, what would step 2 be?
Maybe just implementing, just you already have an idea, right? That's what I'm reading from what you just said, like feeling that you already have an idea, and then maybe just going out and doing it, right? Without having that kind of critical eye, am I going to do it? Am I going to do it tomorrow? Why don't we just do it? And then see how it feels. If you like it, just continue. And maybe that's the other thing, we put too much pressure and then we do it, we don't like it. Like you were saying, we are experimenting, but we didn't like it. We didn't like the experiment.
Yeah, I think you said before that you like to write it down. And I think you even have mentioned in the past that you like checking it off, right? So some of it can be like a personality type kind of thing. Like maybe once you get to the essence of it, you want joy, so you're writing down, like, this year is the year of joy for me. And maybe you're writing that down, and maybe you journal about all the ways you're finding joy, right? And in going back and rereading those things as you're kind of going through the year may help bring up all kinds of cool feelings or experiences that you're seeing. Wow, I'm really doing this, instead of like, did I really do anything about joy this year? And you look in your journal, or if you're Stephanie, you check. Look at this stuff that I did that I love this. I love this. That sounds like it would be a great feeling.
Yep.
So in order to be successful with this, some people have 30 New Year's resolutions and some people have 1. And we really want to help ourselves and our listeners to be successful this year and to feel light and have energy throughout the year with no lulls if possible. How many resolutions do you recommend people make, or how do they navigate that?
Personally, I think anything over 3 is overwhelming, but it probably depends on how big they are or what they are, right? I can't concentrate on, like, when there's too many things. I don't know how I can do them at once, right? You feel like you're spinning plates and you're missing, right? Oh, this one's wobbling and this one's going really good, which might be okay, but it kind of amps up my stress level or anxiety level instead of it being a good experience. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel.
So really,
definitely 3. I was going to say definitely 3, maximum 3. Also, somebody who is into resolutions, and we are all into resolutions. We want to change our lives. We want to feel better. I think just the lifestyle, right? Maybe 1 lifestyle change and 3 resolutions regarding to that. Mm-hmm. So the carrot concept. So I'm always chasing 1 carrot at a time. So I'm not really lost.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to answer my own question.
Sure.
I really think I agree. I think 3 is really, maximum. For me, I think it's about habits. So what are 3 habits that I want to bring into my life this year? Instead of taking away or forcing, something in a box, I feel like when it comes from a habitual thing, it just sounds gentler, and I feel like I can do that. Also, with the experimentation, Jane, I think it's a fantastic thing that in an experiment, you're able to pivot at any moment in time. You make your hypothesis, you observe, you execute, then you conclude, and that can be as long or as short of a duration. So if we do pick something like joy, then you could reflect daily or weekly or monthly and just have that be the umbrella theme for your entire year and beyond.
Exactly. That's a long-lasting approach to New Year's resolutions, really, because it's just that habit is again back to that lifestyle, habit is more integrated into your mind, heart, and body. Absolutely.
And I just think what's beautiful is that I lost my train of thought, but hey, something's beautiful out there. No, I know what I was going to say, is that at the core of this all, it's really about finding what works with you. Like the first part of that is maybe 3 and checking off boxes works for me. For Jane, doing more self-reflection and experimentation, and for Arda, the overarching theme. But in general, we all are able to accomplish what we're hoping for, but in different ways. So there's also that piece, right?
Exactly. I mean, something maybe worth highlighting, a little bit of self-reflection of, is this resolution my resolution, or is this resolution my friends, my parents, my colleagues' resolution? It's an interesting, and that has more, if it's mine, that has more chance to be my habit, my lifestyle, and my carrot, right? So just I'm chasing that, not for the change, but it just, it feels better for me, it feels good.
So then you're bringing up authenticity.
Yeah.
How to really be
True
your
to
authentic
myself. Yeah, exactly. What's true for me?
I'm honest with myself. I'm what is true to myself. Exactly.
And sometimes that's a really hard conversation to have.
Maybe we should have a podcast about that
Probably.
in the future.
But yeah, I think that, having that clarity of like who you are and where you stand is so important when you are trying to navigate what you want to do and what you want to bring into your life and what you don't want to bring into your life, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And we don't want to influence people, by the way. I think that could be a very, very good resolution to have. Like, I'm going to be true to myself in 2019. How about that?
Yeah, discovery.
Discovery.
Well, I think this is a perfect segue into a visualization meditation so that we can get our listeners just one little step forward in helping them to figure out where they stand.
Cool.
So,
Let's
Arda, meditation king over here, and Jane, our transformation expert. I'm going to let you guys take it away.
Sounds good. All right, so why don't we put our feet flat on the floor, hands on the thighs, resting on the knees, facing down, palms are facing down. Take a deep breath in. And when you're exhaling, close your eyes, get comfortable on your chair. Obviously, when you're driving, please do not follow these instructions. So relax your body, beginning with your feet. Relax your legs. Relax your upper body, your belly, your stomach, and your chest. Now relax your throat and shoulders and arms. Arms are resting on your shoulder joints, actually. A beautiful relaxation is already flowing through your body. Now relax your head and relax your face. Don't worry about your breathing, don't worry about your posture from here on. Just keep a very relaxed mind, heart, and body. Now imagine a beautiful ball of light hovering above your head. A few inches above your head, above your crown, you're imagining this beautiful ball of light. It's like looking at sun. How bright it is, how shiny it is. And its rays just give you this beautiful warmth. Feel that. And as you feel the warmth and the strength of this energy ball, let it descend into your body. This energy ball, this ball of light is descending into your body through the crown. And welcome it into your face, into your head, and direct it to your throat, and from your throat into your arms. Your arms are covered with this beautiful light. And then let it flow through the center axis of your body. From your throat into your heart, into your stomach, into your belly, and from your belly into your legs, all the way down to your feet. The reason we do that is to ground the body. Ground the mind, heart, into the body through this light, and the body into the ground. As you feel a little bit more grounded as you touch the floor, as you connect with the earth, I'd like you to bring your focus to your heart, to the center of your chest. As your focus softly, very soft focus on the center of your chest, I'd like you to open the windows of your heart. Almost like you saw this friend, your close, well-connected friend, after a couple of years, randomly on the street, where you open your arms and you're almost running to your friend to give her a big, tight hug. That's how we are opening the windows of our hearts. As if our arms are opening, and let the vision, as you open your heart, let the vision come to you about 2019. From your heart, from the depths of your heart, what would you like 2019 to be? Is it a year of health? Is it a year of adventure? Is it a year of joy? Is it a year of self-discipline? Is it a year of nature? What is it for you? From your heart, and let the vision come to you. 2019. Even you can start talking from your heart to the year. 2019, tell me, what are you about? And wait for the answer. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to feel it, to feel that answer in your body, in your heart, in your mind. What are you craving for? What did you complain in 2018 and you want something better in 2019? What did you complain in 2018 and what do you want in 2019 to come to your life? Beautiful. Keep opening your heart and receive the message from 2019. And now connect with that energy. Feel it. Feel it in your body as if you are already doing it. If it's a joy, feel yourself swimming in joy. If it's nature, if it's going to the gym or eating healthy, feel that. How does it feel? Anchor yourself on that feeling. Let's say eating healthy. Let's give an example. Eating healthy. Visualize that you are sitting at a table having this beautiful meal. How does that look like? How does it taste? How does it feel in your body? Capture that energy. Anchor yourself on that energy. And then take a deep breath in into your heart, into the center of your chest, and release all of your past thoughts, past experiences. Take another deep breath in into the center of your chest, into your heart, and then exhale out all the restrictions, all the limitations. Feel it again. Your heart is opening even more to feel it. Feel that sensation of eating healthy or walking a little longer around the block, or getting out, listening to music, or attending to your hobby that you wanted to do for a long time but didn't give you a chance, didn't give time to do. Beautiful. One last inhale into the heart. It's very important to be present, so release the past, all of the experiences from the past, and slowly bring your focus down to your feet, traveling through your stomach, your belly, through your legs. Your attention and focus and energy goes down all the way to your feet. Ground yourself on that sensation, on that feeling. Feel the earth. Feel the support from the earth. You are on a new ground now, a new platform. Imagine yourself now. It's 12/31/2018, 11:59, midnight, and step forward into your resolution, into that feeling. Some of you might be feeling goosebumps in your body. That's the feeling, that's the shift of your energy. Very natural, very natural. Some of you might feel pulsations in your palms. Very, very natural. Your energy is increasing. You are stepping into your future self as you feel it. Beautiful. Connect one more time. Focus on the bottoms of your feet. And slowly come back. Bring this energy with you, this sensation, this feeling with you, as if you are already living your resolution now and tonight and tomorrow morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Open your eyes. Give yourself a big hug. Thank you for actually flowing with the energy. I loved it. I could feel almost everybody. This was very good for me. I loved it.
Thanks so much for that, Arda.
How did you guys feel?
Beautiful. It was very energizing.
Was it easy to anchor? Was it easy to open arms and bringing that in, the sensation? Because it is a little difficult, right? Because you never had that sensation. I want to stay there a little bit. I couldn't go further because it was Stephanie, how?
Yeah, for me, I started in one direction and then it got very dark. And then I decided, I don't think that's what I'm meant to focus on. Mm-hmm. So I shifted my direction and then it got happy and light.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it did steer me for sure.
Yeah, and I think it took me a minute to just open enough and go inside enough to let something come in. Mm-hmm. So I think that's totally normal, right? It doesn't happen in an instant, right?
It doesn't. I mean, I'm glad we didn't plan this. I'm glad we're discussing this. We were going to originally finish it at the end of the guided meditation, but I'm glad we're discussing. If somebody doesn't get connected to the words, to the energy, it's very normal. And we're going to add this segment to our podcast all the time, right? So there will be a training, and some of us are not that familiar with managing our own energy. Mm-hmm. And as you know, our motto is master your energy, master your life. It takes time. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, sometimes a couple of meditations. And it's just even if nobody received any energy from this meditation, any shift, they never felt any shift, bottoms of your feet is a great anchor. And just think about that maybe on the New Year's resolution, on the New Year's Eve, with that resolution and bottoms of your feet, and then everybody's, kiss your loved ones and hug them, and then the next step is your step. Stepping into your new self. No rush, step by step, second by second.
Beautiful.
Well, with that, I think this concludes the end of our first podcast. Thanks for listening. We hope you found this episode useful in setting your meaningful 2019 resolutions. To learn more about Rise to Realize and check out our upcoming events and workshops, visit r2r.org. Once again, that's r2r.org. Until next time, stay well.